Chapter 76. Think Big. Once you've developed the correct mindset, it's now time to think big. So remember, it's not your boss's job to make you rich. If you 100% want to be rich, know that poor people think small, and rich people think big. Most people don't do the math on thinking big. Say if their boss paid them an extra $200 a week, and they sold their house and bought a more expensive home that would increase in more value, is that really going to make a big difference? And in around 5 years' time, will they be able to retire? Nope, no way. To really think big, let's talk large numbers. To get an idea of the size of large numbers, say 1 million seconds equals around 12 days, and 1 billion seconds equals around 32 years. If you're going to follow a treasure map, the treasure better be worth your while. If you desire, say, $1 million, simply imagine there are 1 million people with $1 in their hand, ready to give you this $1 million. But first, they want something in return. And then, the $1 million will be yours. Impact the world. Provide value to millions. Provide a service to millions. Impact millions. And you'll make millions. You have to do something big on a large scale to achieve the big money. If you provide any of the following, you can impact millions. Solve the world's problems. Provide entertainment. Provide knowledge. Solve their needs. And give them what they want. Be unique. Sex sells. Provide marketing and advertising. Provide health remedies or medicines. Invent something. Create a distribution center. Create a business system. Find an existing business or product and simply make it better. The internet is scalable to the world and works 24/7. Be exceptional. Become famous. Or have your product become famous. Grow a business to a high level, then sell it off. Solve problems for people of all ages. Become the crowd pleaser. Create something that is easily replicated. Provide value for their money. Go above and beyond customers' expectations. Create and cause traffic on the internet to you. Provide something that has good emotions that release dopamine from the brain. If you use the power of a system to leverage and scale, you can achieve large numbers and work for the minimum salary to reinvest profits back into the business and real estate. You will accelerate your growth. It can be much easier and quicker to borrow from the bank $1 million or to borrow $1 million from investors than it is to save or achieve that amount yourself. It's important to have a good track record to use as leverage, to allow you to borrow more money to use as additional leverage. You have to believe that getting rich quick exists. Many people have already done it, and many will in the future. You have to be out there giving it a shot, working at anything that has the potential to make and impact millions. It doesn't take a genius to know and understand that there are jobs and businesses that have no potential to scale, and some with potential to scale. Your business needs to not have too much ease of entry, or it will become oversaturated with too much competition. Not all businesses can lead to fast wealth. The business has to have the potential to scale, or be selling high-end products or services. For example, Lamborghinis rather than Toyotas. The right business to start has to have the potential to become passive income eventually, to be able to be run without any or very little of your time. You should be able to hire other workers if need be and still be profitable. Remember, all it takes is one great idea or one business or one product to make $1 million. That will be the best $1 million you will ever receive, because it will buy you the option to work less hours. To get to the top, you need to focus and basically eat, sleep, and shit your thing. It's all a part of the game to not be successful the first time around, to having a crack at something and taking what you've learned to constantly get better. To improve, it's just a matter of time. Once you've exhausted one strategy or business, then move on to the next project. But if you keep diversifying, you could be setting yourself up for failure. Moving on too soon can be a bad idea, and not giving it a really good go could mean giving up just when you are about to strike gold. You have to make your goal a priority and focus, focus, focus. To impact millions, you need to make sure your strategy or business is scalable to millions eventually. Say a car smash repairs business is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. 5 days a week. The business is not able to scale to large numbers to millions. But if the store was duplicated or franchised to hundreds of shops around the world, then it would impact millions and be scaled to millions of people, with the potential to make millions. Another example, imagine a gym trainer who trains clients for 1 hour at a time. To scale it further, he starts a fitness class in a large room with 30 people. Then he scales it to millions by recording a video of all his classes and tips of everything he knows about fitness. He edits the video, then broadcasts it into the mainstream, with the potential of scaling to millions. Get into a position to impact millions, and you will, in return, eventually make millions. You need to be doing something that can add up to large numbers. For example, say a guy's job pays $50,000 a year. It has no potential to make large amounts of money quickly. To make $1 million, he needs to work 20 years. By that time, $1 million will have less value than it does today due to inflation. Even the slight pay increases he's likely to receive over the years will not make much difference. If he's 20 years old at the start, he'll be 40 years old when he finishes. If he's 40 years old, he will be 60 years old. There's simply no potential to quickly become rich this way. You need to look for other options that have the potential to make millions in addition to your job. Your job alone will not get you there. We all dream of being rich and retiring young, not at old age with the best of our life gone by, most likely with health problems related to our job, and burned out due to working our job for most of our life, pushing to get through the day, running our bodies into the ground for years and years, getting harder each year, and aging rapidly. So think big, and there will be potential for big things to happen in your life. Earning $50,000 a month would dramatically change your lifestyle, but getting an extra 3% income increase from your employer every 5 years would not really make a difference. So think big, think big. If you were fishing for massive shark, you'd have to use the right boat to be able to go into the deep waters and have the right equipment to handle the weight of such a big shark. If you use a fishing rod rated at 33 pounds with a 28-pound fishing line, you will never catch a large shark. You need to be out there using the right equipment, or you're wasting your time. Think big. Think big. When we have a job, we are restricted and cannot scale to large numbers. You can only be in one place at a time, doing one job at a time. Even if you had a phone call for 100 job offers, you could still only be at one place at a time. In order to achieve big money, you have to eventually move on to scale to large numbers via a system or machine capable of such scaling. There are a lot of jobs and businesses with limited scalability, either through not being able to work in bad weather conditions, or at night in the dark, or open only limited hours, or because there's not enough profit to afford to be scaled. Remember this very well. There is a value level to implementation and marketing. Poor implementation equals poor money. Good implementation equals good money. Fantastic implementation equals great money. And the exceptional wow factor results in exploding wealth to over millions rapidly. To be exceptional means to badly have a desire and determination to keep putting in the hard work and effort until the exceptional has been achieved. Being patient with putting in however many hours and sacrifices it will take to get there. But you can increase the value level with implementation of fantastic advertising and marketing. Keep reminding yourself how badly you want it, and that you're not the only one fighting for the prize, to work harder and smarter than the competition. It can be a challenge nowadays to create wealth with a population so big, as nearly every good idea has already been had. So don't reinvent the wheel. Just do it better. There can be other companies out there providing crap service to repeat customers. They will eventually have enough and look elsewhere. So listen to the customer's feedback and provide what they want. When you take a step back and think about all the rich people in the world, at the end of the day, when they're dead and buried, they have provided value to the world, to millions of people. That's one of the big differences between the poor and the rich. The rich become rich from being paid large sums of money, and generally use the stock market and real estate as wealth preservation to grow their wealth. But they often initially got the funding from other sources. If you help to provide what others want first, you will eventually get what you want too. Rise to the top to become the big boy, become the boss, become the creator, become the leader. Take control, and you will eventually receive the most rewards. Or be the follower and get the good money. If you look at the extremely rich, you'll see that it was not easy in the beginning, and they failed again and again. Starting at the bottom, never stopping, never giving up on their dream. Eventually, success led them to more success, which fueled them to keep going. Then, once they arrived at their dream, they stopped and reflected on their success, and just kept going, even though they had so much wealth that they could have retired. But that's why they become extremely rich. They just kept going. Impressive results can be achieved when you think big, set a goal, and break it down into many steps, taking immediate and massive action. One of the keys to success is trial and error, to have a go at testing the waters, then trying another way, to just keep seeing what works and learning from each experience. Being completely frugal with your money will only take you so far. It will lower your ratio of expense to income, but it will not necessarily make you rich fast. Look for ways to increase your income each year, to play a game of beating your last financial year's income statement. Becoming rich is a bit like playing the lotto in one way. You have to be playing a game with potential to achieve large numbers. If a job in which you have to exchange your time for money was like playing the lotto, you would have the potential to win up to $250,000 per year. But if you were to play lotto in a business, it could eventually have the potential of infinite return. Financial assets can generally start making money from day one, and can continue making money long after you have stopped working, and even be passed down generation to generation. And keep in mind, if you build it, they will come. If you have what the world wants, they don't care about the price or who made it. Keep in mind that sometimes you can put in more money into your product and more time without necessarily getting any more in return. When you're the buyer, you hold the power. If a company doesn't provide what you want, you can simply shop elsewhere. If you can provide to the world something that is life-changing, you will get the same result in return. Being rich is when you can easily afford to buy something without thinking about the financial stress of whether you can afford it or not. Be aware that some rich people became rich from not what they said, but from selling what they said. But keep in mind, that was the reason that created their great wealth. Not saying that their information is bad, but to become rich as they did, they scaled their product or business. The rich can use their money as leverage with their time, hiring out jobs that the average person would normally do themselves, so they have more time to do more important things. If you're going to climb a mountain, better make sure the prize is worth your time. Once you've somehow managed to get to the top of the mountain of success, nearly dying along the way and defeating all odds, everyone else that is still climbing the mountain will envy you as a living legend. They dream of being at the top of the mountain, and they now can see that it's possible. Help them and inspire them to eventually get up there. but they can simply easily forget that what worked for one person to get to the top of the mountain will most likely not work for everybody. So keep in mind that a business may be risky to create big wealth, but it's a game that who dares wins. Or play it safe with no life-changing results.
Why do these people scare me until I feel so lonely? I can't decide if there's a way to get out, a way to get out. Open my mind, ignite the fall. I am prepared to risk it all. Whatever goes around comes back around.